President Trump holds his first cabinet meeting as 47 with one of the most iconic cabinets in U.S. history. Elon Musk attends Trump's first cabinet meeting. Here are some of the highlights. President Trump opening up the meeting by highlighting his biggest accomplishments related to border security and fighting to reduce inflation.
In just over 1 month, illegal border crossings have plummeted by numbers that nobody's actually ever seen before. It's much more than 100%. And we've unleashed American energy at levels that will soon be reported. But we think we're going to get it going very quickly. We have incredible people on the energy front. I think we have really great people on every front. I'll let you know if they're not good, but I think they really are. And we're fighting every day to get the prices down. The inflation is stopping slowly, but part of the reason it's stopping is because of high interest rates and other problems that we inherited.
Results. That's what the American people voted for. For the past 4 years, we have not gotten any results. We've gotten pure destruction on every front in the United States of America, from the border, economy, culture, you name it. President Trump is a president that delivers. President Trump also highlighted the significance and importance of the work that DOGE is doing under the leadership of Elon Musk.
The DOGE is very important, and Elon is here to give you a summary of what's happening, some of the things they found, some of the horrible things they found, some of the theft and fraud, and we call it waste and abuse, but a lot of fraud, and probably some fraud that we're not going to be able to prove is fraud, but when you hear the names and the places where this money's going, it's a disgrace. But we've requested that a lot of people, we want to make sure that the people are working, so letters were sent out, and I think everyone at this table is very much behind it, and if they aren't, I'd want them to speak up, but they're very much behind it. Letters were sent out to people just to find out if the people exist. Do they work? Who do they work for? Where are they? Where have they been working? Have they been working for other companies or other entities at all? Or being paid by the government, so they have 2 jobs, but they're supposed to have 1. And the letter asks some simple questions like, what have you done lately? And if they can answer that, because I can tell you everything I've done for the last long period of time, a lot more than a week. And in many cases, we haven't gotten responses. Usually that means that maybe that person doesn't exist, or that person doesn't want to say they're working for another company while being paid by the United States government. So there's a lot of interesting things. It's very unique, but we have a very unique situation because we have a lot of people that were scamming our country. We have a lot of dishonest people. We have a lot of people that took advantage of a lot of different situations, and we're not going to let that happen.
Accountability is much needed. These criminals must be held accountable, or else they're just going to keep doing this. Elon Musk also addressed the cabinet and revealed to the American people details about how bad this really is on the inside.
Thank you, Mr. President. I actually just call myself a humble tech support here because this is actually, as crazy as it sounds, that is almost a literal description of the work that the DOGE team is doing, is helping fix the government computer systems. Many of these systems are extremely old. They don't communicate. There are a lot of mistakes in the systems. The software doesn't work. So we are actually tech support. It's ironic, but it's true. The overall goal here with the DOGE team is to help address the enormous deficit. We simply cannot sustain as a country $2 trillion deficits. The interest rates, just the interest on the national debt, now exceeds the Defense Department spending. We spend a lot on the Defense Department, but we're spending over $1 trillion on interest. If this continues, the country will become de facto bankrupt. It's not an optional thing, it is an essential thing. That's the reason I'm here. And taking a lot of flack, and getting a lot of death threats, by the way. I'm gonna stack them up, But if we don't do this, America will go bankrupt. That's why it has to be done. And I'm confident at this point, knock on wood, knock on my wooden head, there's got a lot of wood up there, that we can actually find $1 trillion in savings. That would be roughly 15% of the $7 trillion budget. And obviously that can only be done with the support of everyone in this room. And I'd like to thank everyone for your support. Thank you very much. This can only be done with your support. So it's really, DOGE is a support function for the president and for the agencies and departments to help achieve those savings and to effectively find 15% in reduction in fraud and waste. And we bring the receipts. So people say, like, well, is this real? Just go to doge.gov. We line item by line item, we specify each item. So, and I should say, we will make mistakes. We won't be perfect, but when we make a mistake, we'll fix it very quickly. So, for example, with USAID, one of the things we accidentally canceled very briefly was Ebola, Ebola prevention. I think we all want Ebola prevention. So we restored the Ebola prevention immediately, and there was no interruption. But we do need to move quickly if we're to achieve a $1 trillion deficit reduction in financial year 2026. It requires saving $4 billion per day, every day, from now through the end of September. But we can do it, and we will do it. Thank you.
The level of transparency coming from this administration truly is remarkable. DOGE, under the leadership of Elon Musk, appointed by President Donald J. Trump, is bringing to light criminality that we all knew was going on, but we didn't have the receipts to point to. Now we have them. There's a reason why this country is going bankrupt. Not just because of wasteful spending, but because of fraud and these crooks stealing directly from the American taxpayer. Vice President J.D. Vance had a word for the fake news media as well.
I mean, look, as the president said, we're not going to do the negotiation in public with the American media. He's going to do it in private with the president of Russia, with the president of Ukraine, and with other leaders. And I think that's how this has to go. I think I just want to push back against some of the criticism I've seen of the administration on this, because every single time the president engages in diplomacy, you guys preemptively accuse him of conceding to Russia. He hasn't conceded anything to anyone. He's doing the job of a diplomat, and he is, of course, the diplomat-in-chief as the President of the United States.
This is what Mike Pence failed to do, and that's back up President Trump and stand by his side. That's the job of a vice president, is to support the commander-in-chief. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth also announced that a review will go into just exactly what happened during the botched Afghanistan withdrawal.
We're doing a complete review of every single aspect of what happened with the botched withdrawal of Afghanistan, and plan to have full accountability. It's one of the first things we announced at the Defense Department for that reason, sir. Certainly, General Raisin Kane, who's on his way in, was not a part of that. Instead, was a part of leading the effort against ISIS by untying the hands of warfighters and finishing the job properly, and then bringing our troops home. So we're taking a very different view, obviously, than the previous administration, and there will be full accountability.
I don't see big promotions in that group, and I think they're going to be largely gone. I know the man on my left. I think they're going to be largely gone. That was a horrible display, and you know, I've dealt with the parents and the family of the 13 that were killed, but you know, nobody ever talks about the 40 that were so badly hurt, with the arms and the legs and the face and the whole thing, the missing arms and legs. It was so terrible the way that was handled.
Great news. The Gold Star families, the loved ones that were taken away from these military families when it should have never happened. It would have never happened if President Trump were the commander-in-chief. They deserve justice. And in classic Trump fashion, President Trump backhanded the fake news media for asking very stupid questions.
The spending bill that passed last night aims to cut $2 trillion.
Right.
Can you guarantee that Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security will not be touched?
Yeah, I mean, I have said it so many times, you shouldn't be asking me that question, okay? This will not be read my lips. There won't be read my lips anymore. We're not going to touch it. Now, we are going to look for fraud. I'm sure you're okay with that, like people that shouldn't be on, people that are illegal aliens and others, criminals in many cases, and that's with Social Security. We have a lot of people. You see that immediately when you see people that are 200 years old that are being sent checks for Social Security. Some of them are actually being sent checks, so we're tracing that down, and I have a feeling that Pam is going to do a very good job with that. But you have a lot of fraud. But no, we're not doing anything on this.
It truly is a joke to see the fake news, Democrats, leftists, and liberals oppose all the fraud that is being uncovered. Why wouldn't you want fraud uncovered? Why wouldn't you want criminality uncovered? Why would you not want people held accountable? Well, I think we all know the answer to that one. Democrats, the fake news, the left, they all operate in lies. My name is Drew Hernandez for the Gateway Pundit, and you have been on Watch with Drew Hernandez. I'll see you guys on the next one.